We're live.
Hello, friends, both old and new. I am John St. Baptiste, and we're talking some Tolkien today. I have as my amazing guest the wonderful Zeta Alpha, who, fan favorite, you all love him. You want to
Hey,
stroke that? Don't lie. You want to stroke that beard. You want
yeah,
to touch that
yeah.
beard.
I had a girlfriend that loved my beard. She didn't care about my hair. She loved my beard, and I'm like, okay, we're having a disconnection here, sweetheart. And she said, no, just don't ever cut your beard.
So we're talking some Tolkien today. We've come to book 2. Okay, this is very confusing for a lot of people. Book
Yes.
2 in the Fellowship of the Ring, which the Lord of the Rings was divided into 3 different books, and each book had 2 books. And the Fellowship of the Ring is book 1. But this is part 2 of that book. I'm confusing myself.
Well, it's book 2. The first 2 chapters of book 2, which is the second book of the first book.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're just like this is
confusing.
terribly confusing.
Well, that's I think that is a matter of being proven too as being confusing because we have chapter 1 many meanings, which is pretty light and easy to go, but then you get down to the Council of Elrond and things get serious. You got to keep on track or you're screwed. This is when you read 3 or 4 times before you go to the next chapter.
Yeah, actually, and a lot of editors have said that they would cut that chapter out.
No way. You can't do that. You would lose the book. The whole thing would be gone, man.
And I think there's so much depth there. There's
how are you going to get primed up for the rest of the stuff? I mean, this entire book is a pretty interesting book, but chapter 2 of this just sets the scene something fearsome. I mean, you get all these stories that happen. You know, you get dwarves, elves, everything that Sam loved, he got to see. You know, but you get the story from these people and why they were there. You know, asking Elrond questions. Boromir, he's had a dream. Him and his brother both had a dream, so they had to go. Legolas, what what happened with the Mirkwood Elves? But this is where more characters are added and more interesting things occur, and you got to have this. You got to have this, or just there's no book.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I think that I honestly think these 2 chapters are more integral to this entire work than pretty much anything else.
Yeah, the wordsmithing here is another thing. You know, you talked about how Tolkien was just the best, and yeah, he is. If you look at it and you read just even questions that people had and the way it was written and the answers, you get a lot of information, and you got to have that. You really do. Without the information, without the characters, without knowing these details, you're screwed. You won't make it to the rest of the book and understand a damn thing.
Yeah, Yeah, because you need to pay attention here.
Yeah,
You
that's
need
why
to
it's
understand
needed.
these people.
Yeah, you've got to know the history.
And I will say that in the book there are certain characters who are to an extent minimalized.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Legolas and Gimli, quite a bit.
I there. I think later on, um, things happen that bring them closer as friends.
Oh no,
In
no, no! I agree with that entirely. I'm just saying, like them as characters,
Oh yeah, yeah, they're dusted over. I see what you're saying.
you, or yeah, a little dusted over. But you have, yeah, many meetings.
Yes, many meetings.
Frodo, who thought he was about to die.
Yeah, well, he wasn't even sure what happened.
He wakes up in a bed, and at first he thinks he's at home, but then he's like,
Yeah.
"No, this is like
Oh, wait a minute, my eyes focused.
my eyes focused."
There
And
he is.
you you have to think about how, where he's coming from. I mean, because I think particularly the first uh, what I would call two books, or a lot of people would call one book,
Yeah.
is from the perspective of Frodo.
Well, yeah, because he was the one uh, suffering the most. I mean, outside of Merry and Pippin and them getting beaten by the midges or whatever, and Sammy complaining about that. Frodo, Weathertop, he got into a big bunch of trouble there. But now here we are, and he's trying to figure out where the hell he is.
Yeah, and but there's the first thing is Sam's looking out for him, and Frodo wakes up and Gandalf is sitting there.
Yeah, Gandalf.
Gandalf, who
Whoa.
we've been like, where the fuck are you, dude?
Show up now, please.
Like, where the fuck are you?
You want to
And,
know
Gan-
certain things.
and Gandalf shows up and he's like, Sam's been sitting by your side the entire time.
Yeah.
And
Sam's here.
and Sam realizes Frodo's awake and he comes and it for me it's a very big moment when he grabs his hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that that is something you would do with a friend.
Yeah. Well, he grabbed that ham and rubbed it. It's warm. You know, and before that particular arm and hand were cold, being frozen by that little bit of mortal blade still left in Frodo.
Yes.
And so he was happy.
Yeah, which always for me made the Nazgul far more creepy.
Those guys.
Is that they're insidious.
Well, finding out just exactly what that blade was supposed to do and how it was going to do it kind of astounded me. I mean, they put I don't know what kind of magic stuff in it, but the Witch King more likely made it. and that was that particular blade was to just make somebody a wraith under their control.
Right. Exactly.
Oh,
So the way that we do these episodes, we're gonna do a spoiler free Q&A, and then we'll talk about the chapters, and then we'll do the spoiler full Q&A, which that's where I get all the fun. But
yeah.
I do, for anyone who has not read beyond this, I want to allow them to open those doors as they choose.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
You got to know what's happening in this world, and you got to find out what people need to know.
Yes, absolutely
Otherwise,
agree.
strapping their guns. Well,
I gotta get my camera working. It's all over the place. Nope, not there.
nice wall.
There you go. There you go.
Got the tie and suspenders. Yeah, buddy. You styling.
I always have a tie and suspenders.
Yeah,
part of
I
the
wear
brand.
a lot. My brand is whatever I found this morning is working out really good for me.
Oh, we got the Fearless Mermaid here.
Yeah.
Welcome, Amanda. Good to see you.
We're all here and happy. So we've got poor Frodo just woke up. He's like, oh, what? Okay, this is not home. So where am I? You know? And then he sees the wizard or the Ishtari Gandalf. And he's like, where were you, dude? But he's still clueless. He don't know what the hell happened.
And Gandalf's like, yeah, I got held up.
Yeah, I was delayed. What the hell?
Like, a little bit, because Christopher Lee is the best person at being evil ever.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
I mean, I can't even imagine anybody but Christopher Lee as Saruman.
Once I saw him doing that role, it was perfect. I took all the movie actors, you know, I took all their faces and things and put them in my mind for when I read the book. So I had the exact picture I can look at, you know, and he spot on with that stuff.
Yeah, and the one thing that I really love, totally going off topic,
All right.
is in the Hobbit film
Hmm.
when you get to see him before his fall.
Yeah. Quite a bit different, I do believe.
And do you need assistance, my lady?
Yeah. Do you need assistance, my lady? And then they just start kicking ass.
And kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah. gold.
Like I think the one redeeming quality of all the Hobbit films was the fight with the Nazgul.
Oh yeah,
Because the rest of it's kind of rubbish.
Well,
It's a
they
bunch of
made short work of
CGI
that.
bullshit. Sorry.
Yeah, but they made really short work of the Nazgul in that day. You know, in that thing, the ring race. Weren't very
But then when
powerful.
Galadriel comes up, like in all her power,
Hmm.
and you see her, and you're like, oh my fuck.
She kicked ass and didn't care about the name.
Like she's just like, you have no power here,
And put her feet.
servant of Morgoth.
And he was. He was.
And you're just like,
What?
okay, I just shit my pants.
Yeah, and then the Lord of the Rings, she's all, she's that lady in Lothlorien.
Right?
You see that? Those two pictures just don't make sense. But she kicked some definite ass in that.
Oh god, gosh, yes. And she kicks some ass in this book too, but we'll be getting to that in a few weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
But no. So many meetings. Frodo finally gets to come across Bilbo. Like, and you have to know in the back of your head, like, he thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really know.
Yeah, he was too gone.
And then he comes across Bilbo, and Bilbo's like, hey, just making songs for elves.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. He is asleep. He totally missed the feast, and so he totally missed Frodo getting acquainted with Glowin, the dwarf, and he didn't get to see Arwen, and he didn't get. There's a lot of things that that Bilbo just missed out. You know, and so actually, Frodo didn't even recognize it was Bilbo.
Dude, if
When he
you're 128, I mean,
well,
you're
so he took
you're
us
you're
to.
you're probably gonna be like,
If I make that, I'm going to be like a whole lot of things.
you're probably gonna be like, hey, I need I need a little rest.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't
I'm
judge
sure
me.
I would. Yeah, you can't judge me because I'm too old. So screw you. But yeah, um, I think everybody was waiting for Bilbo to come out of the shadows, and he wasn't at the feast. So Tolkien just is like, I'm gonna draw a little apprehension. I'm gonna do something because in reality, Frodo didn't even know if Bilbo was even still there.
Right?
At the last homely home, and so and they just kind of kept it a secret from him until he discovered Bilbo, and it was like, oh my God, there's Bilbo, you know. And that was nice. It was a good reveal.
Yeah, I think it was done very well. It it wasn't so suspenseful that it was obnoxious.
Yeah. Well, back then, that's how they wrote. They didn't do obnoxious shit, where on more modern movies and even books to some extent, they're just more obnoxious about how they do shit like that. Yeah, but
Do, do,
luckily,
do you think that Tolkien learned from Agatha Christie?
no.
No, I'm just saying because her reveals are never
She was offbeat, but
big and overt. They're always
yeah, it's a big ta-da. And
her reveals are always like, oh, and by the way,
yeah, well, okay, yeah, you could compare that to what Tolkien did with revealing Bilbo. By the way, here's your your uh, well your adopted parent thing. Bilbo's here, and now you can talk. And talking was about all that was happening. Um, Another thing that cracked me up was that Gandalf was not about to tell Frodo what the hell happened to him, and uh, it took quite a bit for him to finally find out what the deal was. Uh, I I believe chapter 2 of this book during the council is when Frodo finally finds out what the hell happened.
yeah, because in the movie, he pretty much tells him while he's laying there on his in his hospital bed.
Yeah,
Whereas in the book, like he doesn't give it up.
no,
And he's like,
he didn't
no,
say a word about it. It's something that he just kind of left it. You know, he didn't say no. I'm not going to tell you. Well, he did, but he more or less just said, well, you need more rest before we can do all this talking, and this will take talking.
well,
And
you
just kind
gotta you you have to think. It's you have siblings, right? You have two
of, oh
little
yeah,
sisters.
I've got four. I got three sisters and one brother. So I'm known about the sibling thing. I'm not from the biggest family in the world, but five of us kids, and I was the
No,
last one.
you're not a Catholic like us. We
No, the Catholics, five is just getting started. You're just warming up.
no,
And
it's just
in my neighborhood, that's the way it was. Because you get in a fight with a Catholic guy, he's got like 10 other brothers. They're going to get it's worse than some other gangs and stuff, because you're going to get your ass whipped one way or the other. Because they all know you, they know right where you live. It's like, can't walk out the front door, can't get out the back door. Damn it.
but
Uh,
you know he the way he does it, I think it's almost like speaking poorly about your sibling. You know,
okay, I get you what you're saying. Yeah.
like
You don't
like
want
like
to say he's a rat bastard, but he's really a rat bastard.
you don't want to say like Saruman's a cunt.
No, he wouldn't. Well, let's see. It
But
took him a very long time to. Well, no, he he never did say just anything totally derogatory about Saruman. That
no,
I.
no, actually, you're right. Thinking back, he never says anything bad. He says he fell.
Mm-hmm. He
He,
fell. That was
he
enough.
he says he lost himself. He 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 never says he was a bad person.
No, he never did. He didn't gainsay him or anything. But here we are. Frodo's waking up. Now he's met up with Bilbo after the feast, and let's see, they talk for a little bit, and then the Dunedain or the Dunedain, or Umorian.
Dunedain, I believe
Dunedain,
is.
yeah, excuse me. I don't know how I have these words. And yes, he was, Octavia. He was seduced from his studies.
You're not this nerd who sits around studying this shit all the time.
Let's all find the nerds. Yeah, well, the pronunciations with Tolkien just drove me insane. So finally, I just went, "Oh yeah," and kept on in my brain. But Frodo just up and left. I mean, Bilbo just up and left Frodo to go finish his song before the night was over because apparently he wasn't sleeping when Elrond, wake up, little master. He wasn't sleeping. He was merely thinking about something, about the song, and that's where Elrond said, "Well, look,
I think you and I are both at an age where we say we're thinking about something,
and not there."
and we're actually just sleeping.
Yeah, off in the zone, I call it. He was he was in the zone, but he ended up having to write or finish off that song or whatever it was that he and
Which
Snyder made.
my favorite piece of poetry that
Yeah,
is put into this book.
I thought it was very interesting in that Frodo was okay. They went up there, so Frodo started listening to the stories being told, and he thought it was going to be boring. And then somewhere along the way, he gets kind of lulled into into the what's happening here and there, and then he goes off in like a dream world, and then it kind of turns out to be what Bilbo wrote. And he said, "Oh, he had Strider help him," but in the end, he said, "Well, he had to have that big old, green stone on there, but the rest of it was, just what I'm thinking." But it was a very, it was beautiful in the way that they had it go, or the way that Frodo just sort of faded off and got caught up in the entire, storytelling and that kind of thing was rather interesting as well because, um, well, they're with elves, and so weird things happen, I guess.
Yeah, they're pretty.
They're cool. I mean, in my book, I think that, well, they're um, being how elves were the eldest or the first, firstborn, pretty much. They they had a lot to do with nature, and I mean, for God's sake, they were teaching trees to talk. So, okay, I think they can do a little bit of storytelling and zap your mind some. And
I like how Tolkien's elves are pretty badass.
they are.
But it also goes back to the history, which we'll talk about another time.
Yeah.
There are a lot of elves who are very not nice people.
Yeah. Well, Legolas's father was not all that good. He was an ass, but he was, still a very powerful man and thought well of and stuff. But yeah, I didn't like his, who was it? Oh, the name has gone out of my head, and I'm in the wrong. Anyways, Thranduil. Yeah, he reminded me of a perfect asshole in The Hobbit, and
Oh,
you
you're talking about in the films.
yeah.
I loved the casting for him
Oh yeah.
in the film. I thought having Christopher, what was his name? He's a very pretty young man.
Oh yeah.
Christopher.
I couldn't tell you.
I thought that was made an amazing piece of casting. The Hobbit films, you and I have talked about this. I have some things that I really agree with, and some things that I'm
Yeah.
totally against.
Yeah.
But
We're still here with poor Frodo, and the you know has nothing to do with Vanduyu, whatever the hell his name is.
no, he's meeting up with Legolas. He's meeting up with Gimli.
No, he was talking to Glowin because he remembered Glowin because of stories that Bilbo told him, and what they were eating, and Frodo was totally into it because he's a hobbit. Hobbits love to eat, and then he just happened to know it was Glowin sitting there next to him, and they had a good chat. What I remember.
Yeah, they did, but it was all the whole like it was almost like a mob chat.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what the elves did.
Yeah,
It was a mob.
I can't talk about this.
Can't talk about this. Can't talk about that. Kind of weak, nod, nod. You know. Well, I think between Glowin and Frodo, Glowin was saying, "Well, we won't talk about this right now because I think we're going to find out more later. Tomorrow or whatever."
Yeah. Oh, and they do find out more tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow, and you know, I don't know. The hobbits in general were put into this glorious, unimaginable elf home. The last homely home east of the sea or whatever. I forget. And their experience there was, Sam was totally ecstatic. He was just totally happy to be around all these elves. And yeehaw, let's find out. And
But then on the same note, Sam's like, when are we going home?
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. That
And I think it really defines his character. That when are we going home?
Oh yeah,
Like, this is amazing.
yeah. This is cool. Let's leave.
But
What?
can we cut it out?
Yeah. Well, they had enough of adventuring. Sam had just had enough, and Frodo was not too fond of getting, adventuring as well because, well, look, this is the Hall of Fire. You're going to hang out here and do whatever, and and there's only so much. He had, let's see, in chapter 2, the way Elrond introduces him to the other peoples in the deal, kind of spells out what Frodo's been through, and they were nice and happy to be there and all that. But yeah, Sam was ready to call today, and I'm pretty sure Frodo was thinking, well, I've got here, and it's all I really thought about, and After when he was talking to Gandalf, he said, "I really just worried most about getting here, and from there, I don't know. I haven't even
Yeah.
it's not entered my head what we're going to do." And um,
Do you feel? Is there a part of you that feels like Gandalf is very manipulative?
ah, that yeah, accusation made by someone. Um, Gandalf had to do what he had to do. I mean, look, you've got this whole big, huge situation. Okay, there's all these different players on the field, and uh, in my thought, the hobbits were the exactly best choice to try to sneak back in to Mordor and do away with the ring. I mean, that's what they had to do. You couldn't use Boromir for that. You couldn't use Aragorn for that. Everybody would have noticed the damn dwarf out there, and they would have noticed elves running around up there. But get that little bitty ass hobbit, you know, not even 4 foot tall. Uh, that they were the best tool in the bunch, and not only that, but um, Bilbo and Frodo had held the ring, and once you have that ring for very very much of a time, it gets under your skin, it gets into your head, and um, so you do what you have to do to get that to work out.
No, but do you see what I'm saying? Where I think there's a certain level where Gandalf is very manipulative here.
Yeah, well, he runs around telling all these different kings, look, we got a war happening. It's going to be serious shit, and we got to do something about it. And so you need to get your army to go here, and you need to go here and do that. And and for that matter, what was Aragorn but a tool? You know, um, he had they had to do so many things for him to show up and be used appropriately against Sauron. In order to have any kind of impact.
Agreed.
So there you are, manipulation. Um, I think the story revolves around something that it has to be done freely. In other words, these people, the 9 people that finally end up on the journey, they had to say, "Yeah, I want to do this." And Frodo noticed that pretty early on. And well, for instance, the next day at the council, certain people thought that they were going to have to that it was their job to do this, and others wanted the job, and then others, it was a big deal. But you had to get all these people together, and I think in a way, um, exactly, Santia, you he knew all along. Gandalf knew all along he was going to have to use Frodo. And I think, if you compare it to modern day things, he was already pretty much addicted to the drug. So he had to take it rather than inflict someone else with it. And then you have 2 golems rather than 1. So you got to use Frodo. You got to, because Bilbo's too old. Bilbo was just too damn old. He was trying to catch up to deal took, or whatever, whoever it was, get turned that 130 or 131. But yeah,
Interesting.
manipulation for the best outcome. I have to agree. Was it terrible or harmful manipulation? I don't believe so.
No, I sometimes people can be manipulated, and it'll be for a good purpose or a good
That's
cause.
exactly why they have generals in the army.
Yes,
If you
absolutely. Or admirals in the Navy
exactly.
would be my.
They do the planning, you do the walking. For me, it was walking in the Navy. I don't know, on a ship or something. But yeah, so you have to manipulate certain things, and they were manipulating. I mean, for that matter, the White Council was manipulating things all along.
Oh,
The elves
absolutely.
were behind the scenes in a lot of stuff. I mean, Aragorn lived there with at the last homely home for a long time, and they had that broken sword there that was especially brought into them to be passed on to the next heir of Elendil. Yeah,
India.
Elendil. Yeah, I keep getting that N messed up. Anyways, you know, and they didn't just reforge it. They waited and they waited and they waited, and then okay, we got Aragorn up to bat. So we'll reforge it and we'll go do this fight.
Which, by the way, anyone who knows anything about blade making,
That's not easy to do.
no, actually, it's not possible. But they're elves.
They're elves. They could do nature. I
They
don't
got
know.
magic and shit.
Yeah.
But it's seriously not possible to reforge a blade that's been broken.
Yeah, you can put it back together, but don't use it. Might as well just glue it rather than try to forge weld it.
Right.
Because that don't work all that good. Because you take all the stuff out of the sword when you do it. But yeah, you're right. But they kept the magic in it somehow. They didn't let the magic smoke out or whatever. And
dude, they're elves. They like
yeah,
get away with
they're
elves.
elves. They can do that shit. And
actually, that's going to be a new piece of merch on the channel.
nice soda can, John.
They can get away with elf shit.
Yeah, they can get away with elf shit. There you are.
I think that'd make a very good shirt.
I'm gonna come over there and stick that thing on a wall for you one of these days, so it don't get away from you no more.
Oh, my camera?
Yeah, got a good shot of the ceiling now. There's a window.
There we go.
Hey, OTDA, how you doing? Good to see ya.
Oh, hey, OTDA.
So let's see, where are we?
But no, the mini meetings chapter, for a lot of people, it's filler. But for me, it's actually it's quite important because it's people getting back together. It's Frodo being healed.
Yeah, Frodo had to be fixed.
The most iconic scene is when Gandalf is in the room with him.
Yeah.
And he looks at him and he's like, he might be like, if I might bust out the content. He's like a piece of glass filled with water.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. When he's first looking at Frodo and he's assessing Frodo, right? That what we're talking about? Whether or
Yeah.
not to go ahead and tell Frodo a little more of whatever. He's assessing him, and yeah, he sees not the entire being there. There's a small amount of uh, transparency, or the person not there anymore, or whatever. And then he imagined that maybe when Frodo won't exactly die, but he'll just be transparent.
Or or
And
or or or, or alternately, he's just gone through so much shit
yeah,
that he
shit doesn't
is
happen to that boy, and he's not all there anymore.
right. And that's how I've always taken it.
You
As
would have clear eyes, clear body, and then you could fill him with water so you could see him.
right.
And that's a direct opposite of the race, where they're transparent. You don't see them, but you do see the evil looking eyes a little bit later on. But
You sense them.
yeah, you can sense them and all that. But if they don't have on real clothes and they're not on a real horse, you ain't going to see them, and
Like
they can't see you.
you almost smell them.
Like a
No,
faint
no, no.
shimmer.
It's something that's actually stuck with me since the first time I read this book. Is like I would think they would have a smell.
Um,
Uh, gunpowder,
yeah. Oh boy, that gunpowder smell. Ooh. I think
which having been a soldier, I know you know that smell.
well, there's
But
gunpowder smell for sure.
they like they're there.
Yeah, you get a like a sense
You
of
just don't see
whether
them.
something's good or something bad. I mean, um, you do get that feeling. You could be in the dark of night and know something's happening, but then again, um, you could think and feel all you want, but you gotta wait until something concrete appears before you can really do anything with it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
in the opposite is
you're on
like
edge.
an elf, like an elf lord, like Glorfindel.
Yeah, they can see.
You know, it you are in his company, and
Well, with Glorfindel, it was he being an elf was on two sides rather than just one plane of existence. You know, he's also in a positive plane of existence, and the race were in a negative plane of existence. In other words, they had faded from sight to where human beings would see them, basically, but you would still know they were there.
right,
And Glorfindel, well, even to Frodo, when Frodo actually saw him, because let's see, he fell off the damn horse, and he was going out, and he sees the water, but he also sees Glorfindel and the others with fire, you know, and at that particular moment, uh, they had to use Frodo. They had to get him on the Elvish horse, had to get him over that barrier any way they could. And as soon as Frodo put on the ring, or as soon as the horse broke and went galloping off to go over the ford, The ring race didn't give a damn about anybody else. They were all connected. They were like, "There's Frodo. We got to get him," because he was nearly a shade by that time, and he was fading into their plane, basically,
Into the world. Yeah.
into their world, and they could see him. And then he put the ring on, and they doubly saw him. And then they had the madness, the ring, we got to do it. No, thanks. Um, so yeah, it was something that was really. Frodo had that little sliver in him. He was damn near Wraith, and he was on an elf horse. And what the rest of the party did after all the race broke off and went after him is they kindled a little fire, and they all got took something and had they what do you want to call it, like a torch or whatever, and they lit those and ran up behind because Glorfindel knew that the river or that the river would stop, the ford would stop the race. Okay, they wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to cross the water because he knew what would happen if they tried. And so then they all got the flame, brands, and they ran up behind the ring race, trapping them. You got one side fire, one side water. What are you going to do? Well, that scared the horses, and everybody got all confused. And
Do
son of a
you ever
gun,
feel bad for the horses?
Um,
Like the first 2 or 3 times I read the book, I didn't think about it, but after that, like every time I read it, I'm like, in keep in mind, I've been a horse owner.
I've always
Like
liked.
I feel so bad for those fucking horses.
Well, they were bred to be um, used by Sauron, so their life was shit to start off with. So it was better that they died, got away from it. In my book.
Okay. I can buy that.
But it's unfortunate that they have to go through all that evil bullshit to really, um, to live what sort of life they might have had, because we all believe that in the in Mordor everything was hell, and it basically was. So if they get killed right off the bat, then hey, looking good, they're out of it.
Oh yeah, it you think about like if hell actually exists, which
Yeah,
is
it
an
wasn't
entirely
existed.
separate conversation.
Yeah.
It entirely happened under different circumstances.
Yeah. Well,
But if hell actually exists, like you really want to sit there and suffer, or you just want to die?
um,
If
well,
I were one of those horses, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, cool
later
option.
on in this particular book, in book two, we're going to find out what dead folks think, and what lengths they will go to finally be released and be at rest. So that
Yes,
will be something to look at and look forward to.
absolutely. Much further down the line, but
Yeah.
great. I know the chapter that you're alluding to,
Yeah,
and
buddy.
it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Well, the whole book's absolutely brilliant.
No,
And
that's the thing. It's people make fun of Tolkien because he went back and wrote it 15 times.
well, why not? If you're going to get into something, you might as well get the whole story. You
Make
don't
it
get that first
perfect.
thing. Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
it
and he
absolutely perfect.
it took some revisions.
And he didn't have
Like
control alt delete.
No, he didn't. It's kind of a shame because I'm thinking that at least a couple of trees died to get this book on the road. And then once it hit, oh God, look at entire forest now. But oh well, here we go. So we have this.
Very ironically, yeah.
Yeah. We have this second chapter, the Council of Elrond.
Oh, and so much is laid down here.
Yeah.
It's
You gotta have this chapter. If you don't, if you've read this chapter once, you need to read it 2 or 3 more times just to get to keep all the pieces. You should see my Kindle. I've got all these notes stuck everywhere. In the notebook section about different crap that happened. And you go back later and you go, okay, this goes here because of this, and that was over there. Got it. you know. It's not a first read or a light read. Exactly, John. Exactly. It's not a one and done chapter at all.
I don't do the Kindle thing, but yeah, I've got 9 pages of notes on these 2 chapters because there's just so much to discuss, so much
there, so much content.
I love the polite standoffishness between Frodo and Glowing.
Yeah,
I really like the polite standoffishness.
Well, they had to.
We shouldn't talk about.
Yeah, that's right. At the time, he at dinner or at the feast, he'd say we can talk about anything but this, and you know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm talking about, but we can't be talking about it here because Elrond has not said we can talk about it. So now it's the next day, and they can talk about it. And
it's always like that girl in the next room. Yeah.
What? The girl in the next room?
Yeah, you're always like,
is she? Was she? Won't she? There are some songs written about. Let's see. I think there was a famous Nickelback song where a gal moved in across the hall from from what the singer is singing about, and he's talking all about he wants to go out with her and all that stuff, and he missed it because somebody she went on a date with somebody, but what this comes down to is the appropriate time and place kind of thing, and now they're at the appropriate time and place, and there is so much stuff. I mean, it's not like, okay, Frodo woke up, hey, I'm ready for the world, let's go, and he
wakes up and he's like, I'm weak, and what I love is that Tolkien feeds in very minimally. He's changed.
Oh yeah. I think.
I mean, he doesn't make it apparent. He's not like, oh hey, Frodo's like all of a sudden totally a different person.
Well, it had to happen somehow, and fortunately, Tolkien kind of gives us an idea of why it happened or what happened.
Right.
He's definitely got a giant case of PTSD already. And I think The Last Homely Home is kind of soothing that little problem.
But yeah, on the same note, like If You Seek Amy Tonight.
Yeah. If You Seek Amy Tonight. I totally knew what she was talking about too. I did. I have to admit, I like Britney Spears. You know,
I
when she was
fucking
doing
love
all
Britney Spears. Anyone
she
out
was
there who doesn't like Britney Spears, I am very sorry for you. Anyone out there who detests me for liking Britney Spears, I've got a
if
prostate
you
exam for you.
if you see Gamey,
But if you see Amy tonight,
yeah, she got your number. Mm,
you might find something.
yeah, you might. So
By the
Fred is
way,
at
yeah, I've got my derby hat on. Uh,
steampunk.
anyone out there who wants to add in their steampunk photos, please do so. I want to
He's
put
trying to
together
get
a
me.
whole.
He's trying to get me steampunk, guys. I don't know if I want to be a steampunk, but it sounds cool, so I'm gonna like check into it. I may just have to get Photoshop and just go to town. I don't know, because if I dress up too strange, my daughter's gonna be like, call the hospital. He's come get him checked. The old
I
man's
I
busted loose.
I,
Let's get,
I, I want to put together a whole steampunk presentation for the channel.
this will be good.
Braun Holler sent me some pictures. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, she's already an absolutely beautiful woman, but uh, in these pictures, yeah, it's, and
Well,
so I'm
show and go.
trying to put, yeah, Braun, I'm talking you up because I fucking love you because you're the one spanner who rules them all.
The one spanner who rules them all. That is correct. I'll
But
second that.
yeah, anyone who wants to put up their steampunk pictures, please DM them to me. Shit down in the uh, description, Twitter and Facebook. People are trying to get me to go to Instagram, and
I
I I mean, I would do it to grow the channel, but on the same note, I'm like, it's like more stuff to do.
more data that's going to be collected on you. More data that's going to be collected on you and anything that you do, and anybody that is on there. Now, we're all just a product being slurped up. You know, that's another speech and sermon that I have that I'll have to give later. But yeah,
Oh, Fearless Mermaid's here too.
yeah, well, she'll be right back.
Yes, apparently.
She was with us from the beginning.
But yes, Amanda's here too.
Yes, yes. So steampunk. I don't know. I'll have to see them there pictures, and we'll see what direction you're going on that.
Dude, all you need to do is put on a fucking top hat. I mean, you look pretty fucking steampunk as it is.
Well, I am a punk. I mean, I was a punk when I grew up. Even before I grew up. Let me get this strut. Forget about it. Yeah, punk. All right. But that's a
All
whole
right,
nother.
let's get back on track.
Oh, the hell with that! I got to get another drink. This is about gone.
All right, you grab your other drink.
That's right.
I'll hold on for a moment. In the meantime, I will talk about calculus. Anybody out there introduced or interested in calculus? It's something I find terribly interesting, but not everybody likes it. It bores the shit out of most people. But if anybody would like to sit and discuss the methodology of calculus and how it relates to human religion, then please give me a ring. I'll sit down and talk to you about that. So TV is just like, aha, no. Everyone has the things that they love and the things that they hate. For me, I consider myself a relatively open-minded person, and I consider myself relatively.
No technical difficulties here whatsoever. I think I'm back. Am I here? Am I not here?
Yeah, no, you're great. You sound
good.
fine. There was that sputter for a minute, but you're fine now. But
Yeah,
yes,
well,
Santivia doesn't care for calculus. I'll tell you what I don't care for. When I was a freshman in college, it was the first year we had to take our what I like to call touchy-feely
your first year, yeah.
credit. And I'm sorry, I I have respect for everybody, every race, every gender. Dude, I'm the parent of a gay kid who fucks a black dude. So I'm a little open-minded.
Yeah,
Just
you gotta be. I used to have one granddaughter and two grandsons, and I've got three grandsons and no granddaughter. And I'm like, what? Wait, hold on, what?
But I remember my freshman year of college was the first year that the University of Cincinnati required that you took a touchy-feely course. And I signed up so late, my only option was 7 a.m.
Oh, no. People would have died if I had to get up that damned early to go to class.
I had to show up at 7 for women's minority studies, and the teacher did not make it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was one of the most poor teachers that I've ever come across in my life. And yeah, it was a very rough period.
I would not. I mean, if that was the only thing, this is where me and college went down the back road because no, there's certain things I just don't do, and if my mother was alive today, she would tell you how many alarm clocks I killed when I was growing up because they went off, and they went off somewhere in my near vicinity. I was not happy about that. I wanted to sleep. So, where were we? Oh, yes, getting ready for
in the book, or are we talking about sleeping through fucking college courses? Because I did a lot of that.
Well,
the great thing about sunglasses, they can't tell.
See, I totally missed it when I was young then. Totally missed the whole deal. Sunglasses, no, I just missed the whole deal there. Yeah. Cheers.
I live on my sunglasses. I actually, like, normal light is weird to me.
Yeah. Well,
like I feel like I'm on drugs.
I could say a lot about normal light. Yeah, son, baby, you got to get all that crap out of the way. You do that your sophomore year, and you got to put it all behind you. I gave this pep talk to, I don't know, 2 or 3 college students that I personally had to deal with. With the family, and it's like, I know it's a bunch of bullshit, but you got to get in there and do it. No, I didn't do it. Sorry,
No,
but
you get in there and do it. And there are things that I found interesting that I think other people might not. Um, I took 4 years of calculus.
So did you get into the experimental calc?
Yeah,
Ah, cool
I,
stuff.
I think a lot of people would have been like, "This
Yeah,
is so boring."
yeah, it's a zombie class.
But
So you
but
got to
me, I
cut.
was like, "Oh yeah, this is fucking awesome."
Uh, I don't know. I was military instead of college, so. But yeah, I did go to junior college after, of course. But yeah, going to school, Fearless Mermaid. Uh, School was a social event, basically. In high school and stuff. It was a social event, and then you had to be educated too, and that's what irritated me the most. I had to pay attention to somebody at some time, rather than
Oh yeah, in high school it was a social event. It was like something to do between baseball practice and baseball practice.
oh,
It,
football for me, but
it was like
early morning.
I show up at 5 in the morning,
Yeah. Oh God.
train, and then you shower, and then you go to class, and you do school, and then you get off, and then you practice,
Yeah. And you go
and
back
then
and
on
practice.
Friday you have a game, and it like school was a social event.
Oh.
Whereas when I got into college, it was very different. It was
When you get to college, you got to do stuff, and the teachers really, didn't give a damn, from what I understood. They'd be like, "Okay, you're here. Okay, you're not here. Who cares? You're the one's going to flunk." And you explain to your
or
parents
they
why.
or they really do give a damn,
Mm, I missed
and
that
then
part.
and then they'll call you out on your fucking bullshit.
Well, you got to have it.
And those are the best teachers,
Yeah, that make life interesting.
are the ones who are like, "Come on."
Yeah, you can do better. No, you can't. Yes, you can. Man, your parents are paying good damn money for this, so you get in here and do this shit. But
My
I
my
didn't have to worry
favorite
about that.
my favorite thing I ever heard a teacher say. She did not say to me. Uh, I happened to be close enough that I heard from the professor's office.
Oh,
That like I happened to be close enough because I was actually her dactyl.
really?
So I took down all her notes and things like that because she was working on getting published,
Oh,
and she said, "You're not a fucking idiot." Say something that makes sense because you're not a fucking idiot.
yeah.
And I was just like,
Wow.
should I type this?
I think I would not transcribe that one out there, John. I would not have.
Should I just go
Teacher
ahead
said, "You're
and
not a
redact it?
fucking idiot." Yeah, just get out the
And
black mark.
no, I was just like,
yeah.
not touching the computer,
No doubt.
not
No doubt. Well,
anything.
see, you had computers in school. There was.
But yeah, she said to this girl, she's like, "You're not a fucking idiot. Quit acting like a fucking idiot."
Yeah, well.
Like
yeah.
those were the literal words.
I
Like
guess the
F-bomb
student
and everything.
needed some motivation then, huh?
And I was just like, okay. This is why Judah Cleophas is fucking awesome.
There you go. She has to be a good teacher for some reason, right? So she curses at her students. Good job. But if she got the kids' attention, apparently it worked. If not, oh well, money spent for nothing.
It worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in the Council of Elrond, and this is such a vociferous chapter.
Vociferous, yes.
Like it's like I have to say this, and now I have to say this, and now I have to say this.
All right, you say it.
And sum it up in less than like 45,000 words.
This chapter? No way.
Aragorn brought Smeagol to the elves. He got away. May or may not have been because of the orcs. Gandalf like went and hung out with Saruman. Found out that he's an evil ass motherfucker. Elrond wants to know what the hell's going on. He's like, Saruman, I've trusted him for like the past 1,300 years. What the fuck?
Yeah, and now this.
And Gandalf's like, no, he's really not that.
He's not a good guy anymore, people.
Which, by the way, I love about the Hobbit films. Well, one of the things I love about the Hobbit films is when you get to see Saruman be a good person.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the Hobbit. Yeah.
I think is really, really awesome. Let's see what else. Somebody came and bugged the dwarfs 3 times. About
a messenger. A messenger.
And yeah, the messenger.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to break it down in as few words as possible so then we can talk about it.
Oh, all right.
Legolas is like, my dad really fucked up.
No, it wasn't his dad. It wasn't his dad.
Like, he let that skinny freak out.
They walked Gollum in outside because he liked to be outside, and they had a leash on him, and they walked him. I'm like, oh, you weren't waiting for anything, were you? I mean, I thought elves were smart.
I thought elves were smart too.
Yes, I would go out and walk Gollum. Yeah.
But apparently all of them rolled like a 3.
If at all. Their saving throws sucked.
Let's see what else. Boromir is very concerned about his kingdom, which I can understand. When I was young, I took a lot of exception to Boromir's character. The older I get, the more I understand him, and that I want to defend my home.
Well, not only that, he wanted to tell them what the hell they were doing, and telling people, look, we're getting our ass killed out here, and nobody else is coming saying, hey, can we do this too?
Right. But I'm just saying his character in general, like he's like I want to defend my home. Like I as much as I bitch about it, if somebody wanted to burn down Cincinnati, I'd probably take exception to that.
I would too. It's a nice city.
We have some amazing Art Deco.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've seen that part.
Oh, all over the place. Cincinnati's actually like the Art Deco capital of the Midwest.
I'll be darned. Yeah, Santivia, and Linda also. You guys are right. They took pity on Gollum, so they put a halter on him of some sort and took him out for a walk because he liked it so much. And how much good did that do them?
Is it really their downfall? Like, because when it comes down to it, when we get to the Q&A afterwards, we'll discuss a little bit more.
Yeah,
but
we can go on and on about that.
Is it really the downfall that they took pity on Gollum?
Well,
because he's a mover and shaker.
I think, he's an essential thing, and unfortunately, the story, Gollum was just such a miserable creature. He would still do very bad things, but he was such a miserable creature that I probably would have said, "Okay, let's go for a walk, boy. Here, let me put your collar on, and I'll grab this rope. Now, don't get away. Heel, damn it." I said, "Sit, Ubu."
No, Gollum always makes me think of a junkie.
Oh, big time. I've seen a few of those.
Like there's that's always been my, since I was old enough to know what one is.
Yeah,
it's always been my association. It is like, I think of Gollum as just like,
well, that ring.
We want it, precious. We want it.
Yeah, that ring ate him up, and he wasn't a good individual to start off with. And the ring just took all that and just totally corroded his mind.
He wasn't a good individual, but on the same note, I don't think it was necessarily a bad individual.
Oh, let's see. He steals a ring and he kills his friend for it. Okay.
No. What I'm saying is, you're a D&D fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that I think pre-ring, Gollum was neutral.
Neutral? I was going to go for chaotic myself. Of course, you can't be a true chaotic because chaotic's either good or bad, I guess. But I always thought chaotic was where he lived. And
Santivia says, wait, I'm sorry, please finish what you're saying, but I do want to address what Santivia is saying here.
So he tended to just do whatever, and then after the ring, he did whatever plus.
Yeah.
He was bad. He went on the evil side of chaotic. Your
No,
floor, sir.
I just think before that he was just like, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters to me.
Nothing really matters at all.
But Sontivia, no, great point. It seems to be everybody's downfall is taking pity on Gollum.
Could be.
Yes, and no. The no we'll get into in just a few moments. Because taking pity on Gollum actually really matters a lot.
I agree. I agree.
Council of Elrond is so thick and so dense. I mean, do you have anything else that you would like to touch on about this chapter?
There is so much to touch on with this chapter.
Right. No. I mean, we could sit here for like 5 hours.
Yeah, we could, and we still would get solved. But the thing is, this chapter really sets a good scene. In other words, first the meetings brought friends back together, people back together, and then with the council, um, a bunch of new players were introduced, and some lore was introduced, like Boromir and Faramir's dream, and then the quandary that King Dane had, and that's why Glowin and Gimli were there, because of the messenger to King Dane wanting to know about this thief that got away with that little trifling ring, nothing big. And we had just incident after incident, pretty much. I mean,
and we'll have one of the things that I think was done so well in the film. Even better, oh, call me blasphemer.
Blasphemer.
Done even better in the film than it was in the book.
Oh, well.
Is when Frodo says, "I'll take it."
Yeah. It wasn't exactly like that.
He just says, "I'll take it."
Yeah. I think during the council meeting, when Frodo found out about Aragorn, that he was the heir of Numenor, then he thought, well, hell, I could just dump the ring off here and give it to him, and we're done. I go home now. And then Elrond kind of smashed his dream with that one, and they let him think about it. Nobody said you got to do it in the book, But then it finally.
You think about it every time that Frodo offers the ring to somebody else.
Yeah.
They're like, no. Fuck a bunch of that.
Okay, well, let's go back to Boromir. When he finally showed the ring, okay, when Frodo reluctantly showed the ring to the council, Boromir went like, if I had that, I could kick everybody's ass. Gondor would remain. Gondor would rule. And the ring bit him so hard, so quick, that he wasn't really sure. And he made a little speech out of it later. If we have this thing that we could use, to get the best of Sauron with, I think Gandalf was the one that said no, no.
Well, even Boromir wasn't greedy about it. He. I mean that really shows you the power of the ring.
Exactly.
Like Boromir's just thinking, how can I defend my home?
Yeah. Why not use this mighty thing?
How can I how can I defend my people?
Yeah.
He's not like, this thing about the ring. I think it's the genius and the beauty behind it, and behind Tolkien's writing of it is, I don't think Boromir was a bad person
No,
at all.
no. He wasn't a bad person. He was the uh chief man. He was the big guy, as far as Gondor was concerned. He was the next ruler. He was, the heir of
I
Denethor. But
think he was just like, I want to defend my people. I want to take care of my people.
he was a big old guy that fought well and did very well, and he was a military man. And he thought, now this I could use, and this we could defeat Sauron with his own ring. But Gandalf kind of set him straight on that. Is no, no, no. This ring is altogether evil. You know, um, to master this would be, you know, you can't because you're not the one who made it. You'd have to be really, really strong, like in strong as Gandalf or
Who won't
Elrond.
touch it? Who won't touch it?
Yeah, who won't
Gandalf
touch
won't
it?
touch it.
No, none of them will.
Elrond won't touch it.
No, they don't want anything to do with the damn thing because they know, well, it's
And
gonna
there's
be
a
trouble.
certain beautiful lady who Led Zeppelin wrote a lot of songs about
Yeah, yeah.
coming up.
Coming up, and she really
Won't
didn't
touch
want to
it.
have anything to do with it. Yeah, yeah. So here we've got all these people that are thinking, no, we really just need to do something with this, like get it clear the hell away from us, And but Boromir was like, no, dude, I gotta. It would work out so well, and they all give resounding bullshit. It's just evil, and I'm sorry. You have a good mind or whatever, but
Right,
no,
but
you can't master it either. It was
on,
made for
on the
one
same note,
entity.
you have to think from Boromir's perspective,
Hmm.
which is like, these learned,
Yeah,
wise people,
all the smart people in the world, so to speak.
and they're telling me not to defend my homeland.
Well, they're saying not with this. It would do weird things to you. I'll
No,
give
no,
you
no,
a.
absolutely. But I'm saying, just like from Boromir's perspective at that time.
Yeah, if it could be used, and yeah, he wanted to use it if it was such a mighty ring, but he didn't understand the ring. He just saw it as a little bit of a tool or whatever, and he might be able to use it. But no, no human, no elf, no Ishtari, uh,
No dwarf.
no dwarf, nobody. I mean, how many others are there that cover it pretty much? And even Aragorn's like, get it away from me, Faramir. Well, we know what he did about it. And Boromir, unfortunately, he wanted to do what he
And
wanted to do.
Gandalf's like, nope.
Yeah, nobody wanted to touch it because they knew it was just such bad news.
Galadriel's like, you would give this to me?
Oh, spoiler, spoiler.
And then she's like, no.
Yeah,
actually, to me, yeah, spoiler. Sorry.
Oh well.
We're,
I
like
think this
five
book's been
chapters
read
out.
a few times by people. Say
But
what?
but when she's like, no,
Yeah, but she also knew
I
the
want
fate of
this.
so many things.
I want this. I know what I could do with this,
Yeah,
but I have to say no.
yeah,
Or as you brought up, Faramir.
yeah.
You
Which
know,
is another spoiler
which
that
is
he
another
recognized things.
you brought up, not me.
Yep, yep. I did.
Um, if this thing were left on the wayside, I wouldn't pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He didn't give a damn if he saw it in the middle of the damn street. He knew better. He
Faramir
figured it
was
out.
fucking damp.
Faramir was now, yeah. Um, next,
He was all of the best qualities of his brother and none of the bad ones.
yeah, I like Faramir a lot, and the book Faramir was even better, but the movie Faramir was good too.
I agreed.
Yeah,
And they had to do some things to make it a little more dramatic in the movie.
well, of course, it must be done for a movie.
Yeah,
It's not the same. It's not a book. You can't put a book on a movie screen and expect anything from it. You know, you've got to spin the tale, and it's done differently in a book as opposed to a movie. The movie, you know, I totally liked all the LOR movies. Um, they did a fantastic job with those.
agreed.
Uh, I'm not
The
gonna.
Hobbit movies, I'm
That one's out the window. I wasn't as impressed at all with
I give it a,
the
a
Hobbit
C.
series.
I give a C.
Yeah, C, maybe a C plus, but boy, howdy, it'd be more like a C minus in my book. It's just the Hobbit didn't translate as well, and I
Well,
think that's the reason why they didn't make the movie about the Hobbit to start off with.
it's
I
not
finally
just that
saw that Bakshi crap too.
nobody told Peter Jackson
No,
no.
yeah, they should have.
Like no.
Yeah, oh, you can't do this,
You
but I
you
want
you
to.
can't do this campy bullshit.
Well, he did anyways.
You
He
know,
needed
no,
a good couple of no's on that.
no, but when he's making Lord of the Rings films, he had Ron standing there like, no.
Yeah, yeah, you can't really do. If you do this, that'll screw that. They muddied the waters, a little bit. They changed things around. They had Arwen, come out and rescue Frodo and all that.
That I had no problem with.
Yeah,
I
they
honestly,
had to get something in there about her.
well, not just that. I entirely understood it.
Yeah,
Um, they had to bring her in more as a character, and
precisely.
also like as much as I love Glorfindel,
Yeah, the
he's
man
not necessary to the plot
for the movie or for the book or for both.
either.
That's what I thought.
He,
Yeah,
he,
he's
he
just one of those things.
he's not necessary.
He was a descriptor for um, elven power, I think, is what they did with Glorfindel. He was just, what were the remarks made about that um, who was it? It was Gandalf talking about uh, why Frodo saw him as a white being, and he was an elf lord, and he, along with, well, let's see, Elrond remembered all the the history up into the elder days because he was there,
Yeah, it was
and
actually there.
yeah, and
But
Frodo's like, "You what?" But
no. But
to
you know what I'm
demonstrate,
saying. Like for
yeah,
the plot of the story, was not necessary.
yeah, except to get that horse in there. But any elf could have, had a fast horse. But I mean, uh, Orfeo was the means to get Frodo over the fall, over the ford. I mean, it was him and his always horse, and
But I think Liv
our
Tyler did a pretty good job of that.
yeah, yeah. If you want him, come take him, and then the shit happens. And they didn't show. The guys with the flame brands coming in. We're gonna burn your ass. Oh no, there's water here. Oh no, there's flame here. And they was, oh crap. Now what do we do? Nine. I mean, these damn ring rays. They gotta have a brain somewhere. The Witch King of Angmar, and what's he do? It's flame water. Oh shit, poof. And they're gone because the horses go nuts. Basically because they see the elves, they're like, no, we're supposed to be bad. You have to stay away. And then, boom, the enhanced flood took all the little spooky dudes out. But Glorfindel was a character
I,
that
I want you to say that wasn't a badass moment.
that was an awful badass moment. That was so cool, though. Did you see how little horse heads going and shit? Yeah. That's what you're talking about, right? When she called up the flood, which and we got these water elementals basically is what we're dealing with in D&D speak, and yeah, they just wiped out. What they did was they killed the damn horses. Here again, they killed the damn horse. They killed all the damn horses, and they unclothed the ring race, and they couldn't do a damn thing once they're just transparent. I'm a transparent guy. Now what do I do? So they had to go back and say, "Boss, we screwed up." There was fire, there was water, there was fire, there was water. And I could almost hear Sauron going, "You fucking did what?" What the hell? You are a ring wraith, you dumbass.
I'd take it even further. It'd be like sitting around a table.
Yeah. Ooh.
It'd be like sitting at a council table.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
And Sauron's sitting there, and like the Witch King of Angmar is the chair at the other end, and then you've got like four Nazgul on each side.
Yeah.
And
What
he's
the
like,
hell were you thinking? What would you do with with all those idiots? I mean,
what the fuck did you do?
well, there was water and fire, boss. So we just didn't know what to do.
Just like face palming, like
Yeah. I would be doing a face wall, the whole
you
wall right there.
you
Because,
what?
Yeah. We chased the little bugger, and he got away. Why? Oh, there was water. Can you? And later on, the Witch King of Angmar, the head of the ring race and how terrible and stuff he's supposed to be. And no, he got snuffed out over water and fire, for fuck's sake, I mean,
Yeah.
really, that's what happened. That's what happened, boys. Shake your head on that one.
Yeah, I can just totally see this like council meeting and Sarah being like,
I made you right to punish your ass, and now I remember why. You were so stupid as to wear those damn rings, and now you're still being stupid as hell.
he's like, what? How can you fuck up this bad?
Yeah, with two elements, water and fire, and the elf. I mean, come on now, the elf scared them. They scared the damn horses. They're used to evil shit. So what do we got? Well, we got more dead horses.
I love the use of Arwen in the film.
Well, yeah.
I've already told you about my like absolute crush I have on Liv Tyler.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
Because we were literally born on the same day.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't born on that day, but yeah. She's younger than my daughter, though. Damn.
But I liked what the film did.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That it converting things from book to film, you have to.
Yeah, you have to make changes to make it kind of even flow,
And but their treatment of Arwen, like she's badass, but she's not.
Well, I don't know. She was in Lothlorien for a long time, and she stayed there as a young elf, and she was well, oh man, the name just went out of my head. Who she looked like, but yeah, you don't have to be badass if you're an elf because you are already badass. Apparently when it comes to the ring race.
Yeah, you don't really need to. It's like Dizzy Dean said.
Yeah,
you're not a bragging motherfucker if you back it up.
Yeah. If she can back it up. So apparently she can back it up. If you want him, come and get him. And
yeah, I thought that moment was amazingly done.
It was great. And they had to get the love story thing going too.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, there was definitely a love story between those two, and the book just sort of, well, the movie made more of it.
I understand why the book left it out. We were talking about this a bit last week.
Yeah.
It would have slowed down the storytelling.
Yeah.
Putting in the love story would have slowed down the storytelling.
Yeah. Whereas in a movie, they wanted the love story because it was a needed connection.
You want that character connection.
Yeah. That was a good thing.
Plus, you're spending Liv Tyler money.
Not a problem. I'll spend money on her any day.
But like, make it worth it.
I think they did. I think she did great.
No, I thought she was absolutely fucking brilliant.
it worked out very well with them. Damn, my bald head is shining, man. Jeez. Oh well.
Wait, so
That's half of my head.
we have the Council of Elrond, and so many things are covered. I mean, the escaped Gollum,
Yeah,
the visit to Lonely Mountain.
yeah, to King Dane and the veiled threats that that the messenger was giving them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's a little trifling thing.
and King Dane, like I'm sorry, after there are a lot of issues I bear with the Hobbit, but I love Dane in the Hobbit.
Dane's just like, screw you. I don't care. You know, the guy wanted an answer.
What's the actor's name?
Don't know.
He's a Scottish actor.
Well, there's a few of those. I really don't know.
But like after like yeah, particularly after watching that, like Dane being just like,
The guy wanted an answer. He said, "Well, you know, I need time to consider it." And
prostate exam
yeah, buddy,
here,
upward mobile prostate exam.
come get it.
He just blew him off. He's like, "Oh no, I know who you are."
War fingers, you know.
You don't want to break one trying to. Anyways, yeah, he gave the messenger, yeah, a non-answer. I'll think about it, and then I'll let you know when I consider it enough.
Yeah, yeah,
Here like this, and I have to think of everything.
He sends Glowin and Gimli.
Yeah.
And then we have the Council of Elrond, and Gandalf tells you where the fuck he's been for the past month.
Yeah, which is a long ass story too, but it's also important to place, I think, to place Gandalf as one of the main strategists. I mean, the elves and Gandalf are very tight, anyways, and the elves tried to be tight with all the good guys. They didn't care about rest or whatever. But for Gandalf he had the position of honor, which was the last speaker, and he explained a lot of things as well. Elrond explained the last 3,000 years, which took a while, and then Boromir gave him the dream about him and his brother had, and what we came down was with the dream, which was a saying about the ring itself. It was a mystery, basically. Let me find that in my notes.
Well, you're looking in your notes. I'm just talking about the fact that Gandalf finally lets, like for a first time reader, you're like, okay, this is where you've been for the past 3.5 months.
Yeah, where have you been? What's going on? Well, he was delayed. Yeah, he did, Linda. He gave the history of the rings.
You were like locked in prison.
Yeah. The poor guy was up on top of that damn castle or damn tower, and he couldn't do a thing apparently until Gawir or whatever saw Gandalf up there, and they went and got him.
Yeah.
And what Boromir and Faramir both had repeated dreams. In the dream, they saw a few things, of course, A dream, I thought the eastern sky grew dark and there was a growing thunder, but in the west a pale light lingered, and out of it I heard a voice, remote but clearly crying, "Seek for the sword that was broken. In Imladris it dwells. There should be counsels taken, stronger than Morgul's spells. There should be shown a token that doom is near at hand, for Isildur's bane shall awaken, and the halfling forth shall stand." And
Yes.
that took 110 days for Boromir to leave Gondor and finally find the last homely home. You know,
Oh,
but
and we
that's
also
what he
find
didn't
that
understand.
this is also the way it's written.
Yeah, true wordsmith.
When you read this the first time, you're at the same place as the hobbits. You're like,
Oh yeah,
shit. Okay, yeah, these 9 guys in the black robes,
mm,
they're Nazgul. Like, they're evil embodied,
yeah.
possessed by
Well,
Saruman or Sauron.
Boromir experienced. He fought in the war of Ithilien, I think it was. Their land off.
Gilead.
They got kicked. What?
Osgiliath.
No. This is well, with Osgiliath. But before that, they encountered a black horseman when they were run from Ithilien, I think it was. It was a fair part that they were just ran out of. There was a war brought to Gondor over that particular area that uh, they lost. It was a part of Gondor, the lands of Gondor, but they were moved away. They were they were kicked out of it through the war, and in that, during that war, they encountered a black rider here again, you know, and he had fear all about him. Even the bravest men would and horses would go nuts and just take off running because they couldn't handle the fear that he was spreading out. So they used Nazgul to drive Gondor out of that land and took it over. It was one of the last lands that they took, which was fairly current. It's where some things happen in that land. Oh,
It's one of the
no.
things I have to ask you, and if this is too primitive a question, then tell me.
Okay.
But you and I have both been through some crazy shit
Yeah.
in very different ways.
Don't we all? Don't we
But
all?
you and I have both been through some crazy shit.
Hmm. I'll admit to that.
If some Nazgul showed up, would you run?
I'd be like Boromir, you know. I'd watch these people run, but I would stand until I could not stand there at all.
Or yeah, would you just be like, hey, motherfucker,
Yeah, come on, bring it on, you know.
what you
And
got?
then you probably get that famous speech from later on in the book about you stand between the Nazgul and his prey. Blah, blah, blah. Who sent those guys the dreams? Nobody found the author of those dreams. It was not the elves. They decided about that. Um, but these dreams that went through, they got, and um, all the elves said, "No, we didn't do it." And of course, dwarves they don't give a shit, so they wouldn't have the reason to do that or anything. But somebody with a little bit of a mind um, had to send these swords or swords. Oh God, I'm reading now. Um, they had to send these dreams in some way, and it was a warning. But we never find out what power was giving the warning as far as
Oh, I know you don't want to hear my answer.
let's go for it.
It was only Iluvatar.
um, boy, howdy. That's a tough one.
It was on when Iluvatar gave the dreams
You think so?
to all of these. Oh, in the thing that I keep bringing up, I try and bring up constantly because I have just in this read through started noticing it more than I normally do.
Okay.
Is there are messages in every dream that Frodo has?
Well, a lot of them, yeah. He gets a lot of different messages.
I think they are heaven sent.
I would think.
Yeah, I think it's Iluvatar.
Well, that's a hard one because he was the creator of everything. Now, there are several other spirits that are good. I mean, most everybody was good except for Morgoth.
Melkor.
Melkor, I mean, yeah. They call him Melko and Melkor.
He's a bit of a cunt.
Yeah, he was the original asshole, and he kept screwing with the song and all that. And there were so many more that were opposed to him, and then he just continued to be trouble all the way through the down through time. It's quite possible. It's just an unknown as far as I'm concerned. If the big boss sent it, well, okay, but even spirits down to the Ishtari could have sent the same kind of dream. For me, it's undefinable.
That's the thing. If is you put it in the big boss Senate,
Yeah,
you still have your own free will to do what you want. He just says, "This is where you're going, dude."
Yeah. This is what's going to happen to you. And even more, Faramir gets more dreams later on that he knows, but nobody can figure out where it came from. If it was Uvatar, okay, fine. I think that a lesser spirit could have sent it, instead of the creator. But I mean, his song did create the whole Middle Earth, or do the whole shebang.
Right.
So he very well could have sent the warning. It's. I would think that he would have somebody else handle that little detail. But
I mean,
I'll go with it.
There's no arguing that people of faith, people who don't have faith, people. This is the legendarium that Tolkien came up with.
Yeah, well, yeah, he did this for many reasons.
And it works in the manner that he wrote.
Well, yeah, he wrote it, and this is the way that he wanted it, and how these things came. I mean, if you look at when a writer writes something, you write something down, you put it on paper, you put it on the computer, whatever. You go through your story, but you need some kind of something to kind of tighten it up to cause more speculation, to cause conversation. So somebody has this dream, came from nowhere. Nobody knows exactly where it came from, but somebody has this dream, and it's about the shit going down at the council that particular day. And that's what struck Boromir. He's like, halfling, there it is. That's in my dream. That's the whole thing. And Frodo, well, Frodo said in a dream, he saw Gandalf in a dream back in the first chapter. I saw you pacing to and fro. and, and Gandalf was like, what?
All the dreams that Frodo has, like, are something that I've actually been writing down notes about.
Really?
On this
I'd like
reading.
to see that.
Because
wow.
Frodo has some pretty intense dreams.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about tracking his dreams. I guess that's one thing to do, and I just never thought of it. So I'm gonna, right after we get off here, I'm gonna make up a database and start typing Frodo shit in my computer. I'm gonna have this all right here, damn it. I have to record the whole thing. But yeah, I want to follow up on that. I want to learn a little bit about that.
Every dream Frodo has comes true in some way.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, we're essentially at the Q&A section.
Yeah.
If anybody has questions that they aren't worried about spoilers, please ask Zeta or myself, and we will be happy to answer.
Or talk about it for an hour.
Talk about for an hour. And they will be like spoiler full.
Spoiler full, yes. Put that on a shirt too. Spoiler full. I don't know, maybe not.
Actually, I am working on merch for the channel.
That would be a good thing to have.
Side note. Speaking of which, yourself and anybody who's out there in the chat, please give me a location, real or imagined, a date, real or imagined. And that's all I need. And this is going to be an awesome, this is going to be an awesome piece of merchandise.
Ah, okay.
And half the money is going to go to the foundation that I support, which is the Fender Music Fund.
Yeah. Which is
some of it's going to go to me. I'm sorry. Like, t-shirts are expensive to buy.
Yes, they are. So you gotta pay for the merchandise.
So half the money is going to go to me. The other half is going to go to the Fender Music Fund. But please come up with a date and a location. And both can be real or imaginary.
Earth? Oh, both. What's wrong with my brain? Oh, I know. I don't know what it is.
London, 1985. Oh. Santivia, that's not fair. There's a very big performance that I have to argue with. That is so not fair.
I started thinking about an Avengers movie, where and let's go here on that day to create to unmess the timeline, and then what happens? Anyways,
No, London 1985.
let's see.
It was
I still
Queen at
had that
Live
in
Aid.
there. Queen at Live Aid. Ooh, oh yeah.
Son
Or
Tibia, I thought we were friends. Come on.
March 90. Okay. I ain't giving you no dates and times yet. I'll make you suffer for a while. What's he gonna choose? It's gonna be some oddball. I know that.
Right. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask to fill this out?
Woodstock, 1969. There you go, Linda. And that actually was. Let's see. The producers got thrown out of a couple of places, I believe, where they wouldn't do the concert. But then a plucky guy that came out and campaigned for it. I think everybody knows his name because it was his farm that that he gave the land out to let them go ahead and use. Last name might be Yasker. It's written about in the song too that was written, uh, and it was sung about during Woodstock, and it's called Woodstock for a reason, I guess, huh?
I feel for anybody who's never watched that.
Watched it. Why?
Because yeah, film quality is crap,
Jaeger.
but it's
It
such
was
an
crap,
integral.
but
It's such an integral piece of media that, like, I feel for anybody who hasn't seen it.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I watched the reports of it on TV.
no, but
Yeah,
you've watched it since.
he was a prominent man too. Um, Jaeger. I'm trying to remember what it was, but he was all just up in everybody's face. Yeah, we're going to do it right here. Just give these kids a break, you know, and we'll go put about 1 million people in my farmland. Let them do whatever, run them up. But without him, Woodstock couldn't have been. And a few performers.
Oh my god! But do you know what a mess that fucking concert must have been?
I saw what the aftermath was on TV and news reports. You betcha.
Like,
In my
I,
house, it was the work of
I,
Satan.
I love hate festivals. Like 20 years ago, I'd be like, "Yeah, festival, awesome." Now I'm like,
Okay, another one.
"Festival. This is my only chance to go see this band."
Yeah, yeah.
They
Well,
aren't just gonna
you go
play it
see it.
like they aren't just gonna play at a theater that I can like go take a piss in a clean place.
Put them on pause. I'm gonna put the entire concert on pause and go
And
pee.
wash my hands.
Yeah, yeah. Do that too. Mm.
It's interesting how much one changes over time.
Yeah, it's really amazing from my point of view. It was, I mean, they showed parts of the concert, and they showed, of course, all the horrible, filthy, terrible things that were happening there. We heard the brown acid announcement on television news. Don't take the brown acid. And I'm like, okay. And my mom would just look at me like, what, what? Okay, yeah, there's kind of long, and but what is that? uh, let's see, LSD. Okay, what's that? Want me to get you some? And I got slapped. But I was an impertinent child, very rebellious.
So you didn't trip with your mom?
No, once she found out, and I'm sure she asked her police friends all about it, and then yeah, I she came on when I was in shit, but you know, how do you know where to get that? Go to school. And then a whole nother thing happened, and
Like,
it was
I
Satan.
walk out the front door.
Mm. In '69, that's about all you had to do.
Yeah.
And it was a different time and place, a different world. I remember it well. Young teenager just playing with my brain. Yeah, it turned out okay.
But yeah, do you have any last thoughts about these two chapters?
Read chapter two or three times before you go anywhere else in the book. Now, I could read chapter 1, 2, and 3 and understand it all because why? Well, I've read the book several times. I think to link everything up, which is what the meeting actually does, the council does, it links a lot of things. Uh, Elrond got to tell, how old he is and all the stuff that happened. He had firsthand knowledge that Ilsidir, instead of, he was corrupted almost immediately. Instead of doing the sensible thing and throwing it in the damn lava pit, it was right there, and they could have done it, and it would have got rid of Sauron forever. But Isildur went, no, no, I think I'm going to keep this as Weird Guild, to my family, and original sin maybe on that. But you learn so many different details that need to be made and it's needed to connect up a whole bunch of the rest of the books. Um, because you learn so much about each and every facet. You learn about the elves. You learn what they do. You learn about um, the original finding of the ring. You learn about what they're going to do with it or what they want to do with it, and it just goes on and on and on.
Do you ever think the elves are a bunch of stuffy ass cunts?
Well, some of them are. Um,
Like, I mean, I get it. Especially when it comes to Isildur. And
yeah, and instead of doing what the right thing could have been back then, we wouldn't have this book apparently if you just gone ahead and thrown the book, the ring away. So it's a good
but
thing you didn't.
they do kind of come across as a bunch of stuffy ass cunts. Or
Well, they do at times. They do, especially the Selbans in Mirkwood. You know, Legolas's father was an ass in my book. But
well, I think the Sylvans and Mirkwood were just like iconoclastic. They were like, we're gonna go ahead and do our own thing.
yeah,
And the rest of you can bugger off.
pretty much. And they let the dwarves just you know.
and,
Um,
and, and I really bear no issue with that.
well, he did what was best, sort of, for him.
I really bear no issue with that. But it's the ones who want to meddle in all of these affairs.
Oh, like Gandalf, which really irritated the shit out of Saruman.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, he did irritate Saruman because he was off doing this, that, and the other damn thing. And yeah, when he spoke, I've got that, and I can't say it, but that's where you get the meaning of what Sauron wrote on the One Ring. Yeah, me either, son.
no, I think we've hit the point where we're Q&A spoiler full,
Yeah,
so you can say
yeah.
whatever you like.
Well, it's just this is the One Ring. This is the one thing I'm going to use. Let me get my. I'll find it sooner or later.
It always blows my mind is that I think Saruman was so short sighted.
He got stuck. He got stuck. And no, I'm not going to read this in the language of Mordor.
No, please
But here
don't.
it is. One
I don't
ring
want my computer
to
to
rule them all.
catch on fire.
Yeah. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all. And in the darkness bind them. So,
In the
but
land of Mordor where shadows lie.
no, it doesn't say that much. That's a quote from the book. I've got it highlighted.
It
But it was a translation.
yeah,
And in the darkness bind them. All Sauron wanted to do was the same thing that Melkor wanted to do, and that was to ruin everything that was created in Middle Earth. So, Luvatar, um, it was a contest between him and the big guy. We got Melkor. He's right off trying to do, a different tune. Start off with they hear the tune, Luvatar. They start a song, and yeah, the words in English is terrifying enough. But then Melkor, this is from the Silmarillion. Melkor tries to differentiate the tune rather than follow along like everybody else, and this is where the whole thing is. So we've got your classic God Satan clash. This is the genesis of it, and this is all that's been happening, and this is all the struggle between the two powers, one that created Middle Earth and one that wants to destroy it all and put it out and all the inhabitants and all the creation into the dark void that exists out of uh, you know out of the picture completely in the void. That's where he wants everything, where
yeah,
he can rule everything.
it kind of gives you a picture of persons who are of that nature.
Yeah,
Which like I want to destroy this. Okay, well then what are you gonna do?
well, he's gonna have dominion over everything, and
Over
all he
nothing.
was Yeah, it's the same. It's still over nothing. Then what? What's another dummy will come up here to this?
You're gonna have dominion over nothing. You're going to,
Yeah.
you know, I wear this crown of shit.
Yeah. I think it does all it's just to eliminate what was made.
Right, right, but there's no at least in my eyes, in my vision, there's no.
Well, once it goes off into the darkness or into the void, you know, there's nothing but everything there that he can torture and do whatever to. And the unfortunate thing about Melkor was he didn't have enough power to really create people, and so he had to find a way to modify them so that he was the Messiah type of deal for them, and he certainly did that. And just like um, some of the things like orcs, goblins were tortured elves, or you know that kind of thing, and that's where they originally sprang from. And then Saruman, after he starts really studying all this, he gets fascinated with that damn ring. And then what does he do with the two towers when he's finally gone over to the side? Well, he creates better orcs. He creates the Urkai. Yeah, yeah, he enslaved them, and they can go out and about in the sunlight, where orcs before couldn't really deal with the sun that much because they were just terribly bent and broken, life forms. And then Saruman does some kind of gene cutting, and comes up with a new improved orc. And it's to me, it's still a story about good and evil and the struggle between, and what happens when the struggle happens. You could start off with two major powers. You could even say like two major countries in the world or whatever, but two major powers struggle against each other. Hey, Jake, good to see you. And all the crap that ensues in between that struggle is what they call daily life and all that. So, I don't know how more to put it than that. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
You got a lovely picture of your blinds and something else. No, wrong. Other way. Keep going.
There we go.
There you go. Almost. I'm going to come over and nail that damn thing down. It's a long walk from Kansas City to Cincinnati.
I'll pick you up.
Okay. That will glue that thing to the wall.
I'll pick you up.
Cameras can be contrary, I guess is what. Yeah.
And we'll listen to Dixieland all the way back here.
Then we better have some booze. Of course
Not
we
if
will,
I'm
right?
driving.
Huh?
Not if I'm driving.
Well, you'd have to, because I ain't got no driver's license.
No, I'm saying if I'm driving, we aren't gonna be drinking booze.
You aren't going to be drinking.
You can.
You betcha.
But this
I
train,
figure that's probably
bound for glory. This train,
Oh yeah. I'll just buy me a case.
bound for glory. This train.
El Santevia. There's all kind of barbecue in Kansas City. Some of the best in the world. And sure, we'll pick some barbecue up for Santavia and we'll just drop it off on the way.
Yeah. Just don't pick up some baseball because they have
Do what with baseball?
it out
Some
for
tickets?
everybody.
No, we
Sorry.
can't get tickets to none of that stuff, man.
No,
I'm, I'm,
I'm sorry. Since Brett retired, you guys have horrible baseball.
what? What? No, wait, we were world champions just a few years ago. We've won the World Series twice. So, it's better than some teams. So we've done all right.
I love getting
That's
in
the way
baseball
it
fights
is.
with people.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a real big baseball fan, but yeah. Oh, Linda wants barbecue now too. Damn it, John. You shouldn't have told nobody. I'm gonna have to buy more booze.
I didn't tell anybody. You're the one who said, "Hey, I'm coming to Kansas City."
No, you said you drive down here. I think I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking about was more scotch. That's what goes wrong after that.
Well, if I'm driving home from Kansas City, I can totally make Linda on the way home route.
Listen,
'Cause
it's about
she lives like an hour and a half away from me.
okay. Well, it's about an 8-hour drive from here to what the hell's that other city in Ohio that everybody thought? Oh, Indiana. No, that can't be it.
The state,
Uh, that's yeah.
Cleveland,
No. It's about an 8 or 9 hour drive
Columbus,
between here and no, it's about 10 hours. Come to think of it, between here
Athens.
and Cincinnati. I was thinking of Indianapolis, the city and the state. Been there
See,
a few times.
for me, it entirely depends on whether or not I have a passenger. Uh, ask
What? You
ask
don't want to scare people or what?
ask ask Amy True because like I picture up from the apartment or from the apartment from the airport,
Yeah.
and I went from like Hell Demon John
Ah.
to like foul mouth grandmother.
Oh well. So you're
Like
driving slow then.
if I have a passenger, like I follow every parking law.
Oh really?
I follow every
See, that's why I was going to bring you Scotch. It won't matter. Won't
like
matter at all. I don't give
it,
a shit.
if I have a passenger, I become a very responsible driver. On the other hand, my mouth becomes a lot more foul.
Oh well, so does mine. I've had my yeah. I've been trying to not curse too much because I will get foul mouth. Just happens. Smoke a lot of cigarettes, drink a lot of booze, talk a lot of bad language. Oh wait a minute, no cigarettes either. Oh
But
well,
yeah, if I have no passenger, it
you just go in your groove and take off, huh?
I
Get on
can
your
make it from here to your house in about 6 hours.
no fucking way. Pardon my French. No way. No way. No.
Maybe 7.
It takes 4 hours to get across Missouri. I'll time that bitch.
Not for
Three
me.
if you're three if you're going, if you're not following all the rules. Linda misses the Bluegrass Festival at barbecue in Owensboro. Owensboro Bluegrass, Kentucky, maybe? I don't know. Where?
Yeah,
Owensboro.
Owensboro, Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay, I was close. Yeah, they're that way for me.
It's the other
I
long
know it's
skinny
over,
state.
yeah, I know it's over yonder. That's all I know. And I know Missouri is 4 hours wide from Kansas City to St. Louis. So, and that's all interstate. So you can make it 3 hours. I've done it.
No, you can make it 2.
Oh God, I ain't driving that fast. Oh, Kentucky. Okay. That's well, actually, after you get into get across, uh, get through Indiana, and you can make a right turn and head on down to Kentucky. I think. All right, need a map, but I remember the exit signs. I just don't remember where they were. But yeah, you go down yonder. Talk like the Arkies around here.
We're so off topic, it's ridiculous.
Well, there wasn't really that many questions.
Do you have any final thoughts about these two chapters?
I think I already did that. But I have more final thoughts, and just in case, if we're needed there. I'm having an urge that I must empty out some of that which I put in. So I'll be brief about it. Next.
All right. Well, for everybody out there, thank you so much for coming out. And anybody
thanks for being here.
Afterwards, I very much appreciate it. Yeah, this has been kind of rambly, but it was a good kind of rambling.
I could paint "stay on topic" on my glasses, and I'd still slide. It's like I'm old. What's your excuse?
I'm a liar and a thief.
Okay, then. We've got this covered.
I'm always paying attention. I just act like I'm not.
Well, let's see. I did pay attention.
But in the meantime, everyone, please be kind.
Be kind.
Enjoy the work.
Enjoy the book, because there's very much to be there. Yeah.
PLUR.
Always.
Be excellent to one another. Party on. And keep sailing west.
Yeah. And to quote Sex Pistols, God save the Queen.
God save the Queen. Fascist regime.
That's right. That's the way it is.